Welcome to the Pointing It Out podcast. I am Megan Holmes here at the Needlepoint Clubhouse in St. Louis, Missouri.
And I am Melissa MacLeod at the Wool and the Floss in Grosse, Pointe, Michigan. Well, happy Sunday, my friend.
Hello there. And since it is a Sunday, I am here in a weird spot in the dining room at my house.
Well, that's okay. Life happened to a lot this week with lots of snow all over the place. We're filming this a little late thanks to Mother Nature. And yeah, you're at home enjoying your family and making time for this. I popped into the shop. Thankfully, I only live 5 minutes away. So here we are. So if you are joining us for the first time, I am Melissa MacLeod here at the Wool and the Floss in Grosse Pointe, Michigan. I was about to say we are Creative Escape for all stitchers because I just get on robot mode.
Autopilot.
But in more important terms, today I am one half of the Pointing It Out podcast team, along with my shop BFF, my friend Megan over here.
I am Megan Holmes, and I'm coming to you, like I said, from a suburb just outside of St. Louis, Missouri, which is close to my shop, the Needlepoint Clubhouse. And yeah, but here I'm at home now today. But we're here to talk about the challenge prizes, right?
So if you have been following us for any length of time, for many years, we have had a Pointing It Out podcast challenge with the design not to finish as many things as you possibly can, because that creates stress, I think, for some people. And it creates stress for me, let's be honest. But to hopefully enrich your stitching experience, I guess. Is that a good way to say it?
I think that's a good way to say it, or to try to help you just maybe even feel a little more creative in the process. Sure. Yeah.
Yeah. Get out. Some of us do the same things over and over again, which honestly is part of the beauty of stitching, the repetitive nature of it. But it's also sometimes good to get out of our comfort zones, do something that might push our creativity a little bit, maybe push our knowledge base, maybe make us get organized because we're not organized people, all the things. So we had 20, well, I don't know how many it used to be a number. It's however many. I can't count those letters in my head. Can you count the letters?
No, but if I recall, it was about between 20 and 22. I can't exactly remember.
So we used the acronym for Pointing It Out podcast and created some really, what we thought were some really great things to kind of keep you engaged in your stitching for the year. And we got so many nice emails. Did you get a chance to read a lot of them?
I did get a chance to read a couple of them. I think if I can say so, or if we can say so ourselves, our goal was accomplished.
Sure.
Because our goal was to try to help people, like you said, expand their minds and maybe get a little more creative. And it sounds like it worked. People tried new stitches. They were motivated in some ways to do some more stitching. And there was some other nice, sweet sort of things that happened along the way as well. So
yeah, one of our mutual customers, Nell, she and her sister have come to the Detroit retreat. Have they been? I know they've been to your shop. I'm not sure if it's been to a retreat. Do you remember?
I think so, but I remember them specifically because I ran into them in the Detroit airport one time. So they've definitely been to your retreat.
There we go. So we have both met Nell and Joanne, and Nell made a note, something like, I never would have thought that I could have stitched every day, or that it would have been as meaningful to me as it was. And I never would have done that, except for I think one of our prompts was to stitch every day just for 30 days. But Nell took it to the extreme and stitched every day for all of 2025. And she said, I can't believe the number of projects that were festering that I finished. And she just felt like she got a ton out of it. So that was really fun to read.
That's great. I love that.
And then we had another really, really nice email, and Megan has had the good fortune, thank you, I can't think today, of meeting Emily in person. But Emily has said, to her own words, she's a newer stitcher, and she discovered the podcast and she just binge watched the podcast. And she was talking about how every day she'd sit down, maybe not every day, but a number of days, sit down with her infant baby laying in her lap, and she would watch the podcast and she would stitch. And for a brand new stitcher to fit that in with at like that stage of motherhood was just amazing.
Pretty amazing. And then the story continues in an even more amazing way, I think. And she
Does.
actually shared this with me. She was able to stop into the shop and she shared this with me in person. But you might remember the way the actual story goes. I think that one of us talked about Amy Bunger, or you mentioned Amy Bunger.
I did because I
Um,
just Amy's phenomenal, and yeah, so and she's like a maven in the industry. She's semi-retired now, and I only say that because she's shuttered her shop, but she's still very much involved in the industry, but just in a different way. And
mhm.
so yeah, so we've talked about Amy a couple of times because she has incredible stitch guides that are still available. I think her stitch guides now are sold through Needleworks of Austin.
Yes. Yep.
But I think they're available wholesale to other shops. I haven't looked at that in a little while, but
It's true. I called and talked to them. There is one
okay,
available.
I
They
have
are
that straight.
available.
Yeah.
If they have it, then if they have the stitch guide of Amy Bunger's in their possession, you can a
So
store can purchase them wholesale to sell to a customer. Yeah.
perfect. I
Yeah.
thought that was the case, but I actually, forgot the details. What else is new? So yeah, so we brought up Amy, and apparently, I guess the first time we brought up her name, Emily said, I had a canvas that said Amy's Golden Strand on the tape. That was my grandmother's. And she's like, so that kind of like, I was like, oh, that's so cool. And then I believe we brought her up again and said, and that time I mentioned that the shop had been in Memphis. And I believe that that is where her grandmother lived, Emily's grandmother. And she would stitch and go on retreats with Amy Bunger.
Right. I remember that part. Yeah, for sure.
And I think she said her grandmother died when she was 9. And so she has this wonderful memories of her, but apparently her grandmother never let anyone take pictures of her. And lo and behold, Emily grabbed the bull by the horns and called up the phone number that was still listed for Amy, even though she doesn't have a shop. Amy, bless her, uh, heard the message, reached back out to Emily. They had a lovely conversation about her grandmother and said, as a matter of fact, I even have a picture of your grandmother stitching.
Yeah.
And so she included, and on her podcast submission, she included this picture of her grandmother's trying to say, here she had this like long, huge string of, or piece of thread that she was determined to get just one cut, which of course we don't usually recommend, by the way. One cut for the area on her canvas to finish. And so anyways, Emily felt like she was able to really make this fabulous connection with her grandmother, who knew Amy Bunger, and that connection was made indirectly because of the podcast. And that story just really warmed our hearts. Really
Yeah,
warmed
it
our
was
hearts.
very sweet. And yes, and anecdotally, I've had people come in and say, "Oh my gosh, I need to get a thread because I've got to do something on my challenge," or "Hey, can you help me find a stitch here because of for the challenge?" So I think it's
Right.
been fun. Like I said, we hoped to. I like your word, enrich the stitching experience for last year, and I think we did that. So there have been a lot of people who actually finished the entire challenge and
Yes.
then submitted their name.
102.
Yes, 102 of you did the entire thing. I think we both, when we filmed, if I remember correctly, we each had sort of either indirectly or there was a reason why we each didn't do one thing.
We both got A minuses, and I'm okay
Yeah,
with that.
yeah. I'm okay with that. Yeah, it's our business and our hobby, so probably we should have gotten a gold star for even trying, but there's that.
True. True. But it was fun. I did some things
Yes,
that, I
100%.
wouldn't have done. I had somebody mystery kit something for me here at the shop, which you've done that for me in years past. And this year, of course, Megan and I kind of waited till like the last minute for some of these things because that's, the way our year is gone. And so it was fun. Yeah, it was really fun.
It was fun. And so today we're here to talk about, well, let me back up. So then, as a result of having a challenge and having an awesome needlepoint community,
Mm-hmm.
about between 10 and 14, I think, of our friends in the community donated prizes
Yes.
to the challenge. And so we are able to have a sort of a prize giveaway episode today and talk about all of the things that were donated. And then we are going to be choosing entrants as prize winners.
Okay. Well, one of them I know is in your possession, but not actually in your hands. So let's start with you. For those of you who don't know, Megan is not only does she own the Needlepoint Clubhouse, but she is the owner of 2 wholesale lines that are managed by two fabulous women that work for her, both of which I consider friends. And one of them is the Gingham Stitchery, and the Gingham Stitchery has 6 or 7 or 8 designers that work under that umbrella. It's changing
Oh
all the
man,
time. So
you're
I know
putting
I'm
me on
putting
the
you in,
spot.
I am. And it's hard because you keep growing. So it's hard to
Well,
keep
it's
track.
true. But one of those wonderful women is Maddie Sweet. And Maddie went to Lauren and said, hey, I would like to donate. And that is this. It's the Wizard of Oz book
So sweet.
cover canvas. I'm not doing a great job. I've got a
I
couple of
can see it.
screens. Okay,
Yep.
good. I've got a couple of screens open here because I'm in charge of the
The
name.
master list.
Yeah. And so, anyway, so this canvas is on my screen because I forgot to bring it home, but we have it safely at the Needlepoint Clubhouse and we will ship it to the winner, which
The
is,
winner is entry number 16.
and I have
That
a
is,
spreadsheet here.
yeah. And
And
I thought maybe I could even show that canvas because we have sold that canvas a number of times. And who doesn't love the Wizard of Oz? But
and
unfortunately, we're in a phase where it's out of stock, not in stock.
I there's some kind of weird karmic thing happening here because the prize winner for this is Annie Zigman. Annie
Hey,
is a local St. Louis gal. Annie is a theater actor. And so, of course, I'm sure she loves this Wizard of Oz, especially the new Wicked and Wizard of Oz, all the things. But also, Annie just fell and broke her hand. I saw it on Instagram last night. So she's a little extra love in her life, just
good.
some cheerful mind flowers. And so hopefully this will make her happy. Um, and honestly, you've got a lot of falling and breaking things at your place too. But so,
Unfortunately.
oh yeah. But anyway, so Annie is number 16. Whoops.
And we
And
would be remiss in not mentioning that she's also a needlepoint
thank
designer.
you. Thank you. I was
See?
sorry. You're exactly
Yeah.
right. I missed that part. From St. Louis. She's a teacher, a drama teacher. She's a theater actress, and she is a fabulous needlepoint artist. In addition to that, through the body of work of the Casey Needlepoint designers. And
And she goes
yes,
by
I'm
Ziggy
sorry. That
Stitch.
was
That's
silly.
okay. She goes by Ziggy Stitches as her
That's
pen
exactly
name. Is that
right.
what it's called? A needlepoint, a pen name? I don't know.
Oh, I don't
Designer
know. An
name?
artist name? That's a great idea. In fact, I kind of forgot because I was thinking about her broken hand, so I got stressed out there. But anyway, Annie,
Good.
the winner of the wonderful
Yay.
Wizard of Oz book canvas from Maddie Sweet. So what a
Yay.
gift.
Okay, so let's do my indirect prize, just because it seems to make sense here. So this was donated by myself. I have a small wholesale line that creates tools for needlepoint. And I happen to put it in a woolen floss canvas bag just to corral it. So it's from Tools of the Trade and from the Wool and the Floss, which are both owned by me. So same difference, same difference.
Yep.
So there are a number of items in here. And hopefully whoever wins these doesn't own them all. If they do, they can share them with some of their stitching friends.
Exactly.
So we have a laying tool minder. So for those of you that use a laying tool, we know that sometimes, especially if you like a wood laying tool, it's never at the ready. So this is like a typical needle minder, magnet on the back, magnet on the front, and it has this kind of stretchy tube that your needle minder slides through. So that will keep your needle minder at the ready. If you're someone who doesn't use a needle minder, you don't need it, but pass it along. Our templates, these are the circle and oval sets. There's 8 in here, and it enables you to either change like a square canvas to a circle, or take one of those canvases that doesn't have a shape, instead of trying to walk around your house and find the perfect shape coffee mug or bowl, etc. The square templates, my daughter first was like, those are silly. Why would you create square templates? Anyone can draw a square. Well, first of all, my daughter's an art major, and so art minor. So of course she thinks that the rest of us have vision. But what is really nice about these is there's 2 different size squares on them. They all have a center point, so you can center your square or rectangle easily. And many of the templates in here, there's 9 templates in here, are designed for many of the self-finishing objects that are out there. Like the triangle case from Planet Earth and the Rachel Berry clutch.
Well, that's what I was just going to say. One of my favorite in that, I think that whole little pack right there is worth its entire price tag because of the Rachel Berry insert, because you can easily look in your stash and say, oh, will this fit in the insert? And you can set it on top of it and actually see if it fits. So
Yeah, and
Or you can make
one
something.
little minor side story is they come with a masking on top. And the very first time Megan purchased these for her shop, she's like, Melissa, there's something really wrong with your templates.
You're
I
like, I was like, they look like wet or there's something
Yeah,
going on,
she's like, I
like they're
think there's
burned.
mold on them. And I panicked for a moment. And then I realized, wait, I'm from the Motor City. Like, we're so used to like production and things like here. It didn't even dawn on me. They do come with a masking. They are laser cut. So a laser is a hot
Right.
medium and creates sometimes very, very subtle smoking and burns on the masking only. You can take the masking off. I actually prefer them with the masking on because when the masking's off, they're so see-through. Like it's kind of hard to tell where to center them. Like these are
Really?
translucent.
Oh,
So
how
I
funny.
leave the masking on, but that's,
Okay. Well, either
yeah,
way, they
yeah.
work. Great tool.
And last but not least is our thread calculator. This was something that my old owner Jean had, and actually I had a friend who suggested we call it the Thread Genie, which was a little
Oh,
too late
cute.
because that would have been really cute. But it basically enables you to utilize your stash more effectively. By laying this on, you can count how many square inches per color. It gives you the math on the bottom of how to figure out how much thread you need. So all of these are typically wholesale products. I sell them in my store. Megan sells them in her store. But right now we get to give them to someone. And my phone turned off. Sorry, most of these things don't need description, but I think all those things don't make any sense unless you know what you're looking at.
Yeah, and it's also fun to talk about needlepoint products. So that's great.
Goes to item number or person number, entry number. There we go. 28.
28 is Deb. Hmm. I'm gonna hack this name up. Deb Rugnetta. Runetta.
Oh, I know how to spell it
Rugnetta.
because she is a customer of ours. I also think it's Rugnetta, but I also don't know for sure because I don't think I've talked to her on the phone before. So
Okay. Well,
that will get shipped off to Deb. Um, did I mention this already? I don't know if I did. I'm in charge of shipping for this little charade that we do.
you did not
Um,
mention it, and I'm glad you are because I was going to next.
yes.
Next
So
product.
um, we will ship these out over the course of the next month or so. Honestly, I'm a small business. Megan and I do this podcast for fun and out of the goodness of our hearts. Bottom line, there's nothing in the budget for shipping all of these things. So I'm going to try to combine them with future orders when possible. And after a month or so, if you're, and that's not to mean that anyone has to become my customer, there's no pressure for that. But like Deb, I know we ship to on a fairly regular basis. So I'll just add it to one of her future orders and you'll be easy because you get to, get Annie's and she can just stop into the shop
I
because she
might
does
need
that
to
all the
hand
time
deliver
already.
hers for a
Well,
little special treat.
that's true. I
We'll
hope
see.
she at least broke her non-dominant hand.
She did. It was her left hand, I
mean,
think.
nobody wants a break, but at least non-dominant makes life a little bit
Well,
simpler. You can at
and the
least,
comment she made was lucky I have a needlepoint stand, so she can
there we
use
go.
my hand.
And she can still unzip her jeans and go to the bathroom. So that's
Oh
great.
man. Oh man.
Okay, so that was that. Next up, we have, I don't even know what order to do this in. So let's talk about this book.
So fun. I
Uh,
don't know what all these are.
I know. So this is from Custom House of Needle Arts, and they sent this book, and I'll be very honest, Megan, you're going to practically fall off your chair. This is a book that I do not own.
Wait, what? You need to call
I
them right
know.
away and get a copy. That you have
It's
every
crazy.
book.
I am the book junkie. And this is, it's called Side by Side, Pattern Darning in the 21st Century. It's written by Susan Jones, who her trade name is Fingerstep Designs, and it's distributed through Custom House of Needle Arts. And it is, how many pages long? 83 pages long. And just lots and lots of darning stitches. And there's even like, it's all black and white, but like here's a pattern that they did using 4 different darning stitches and they
Oh, how
laid them
cool.
out. And
I
for those
love
of you
darning.
that haven't done a darning stitch, it was one of the prompts on our
It's true.
challenge this year. Maybe that's why they sent it. They were thinking. And darning stitch is really incredible because how do I describe this? Some of the thread is on the top of the canvas and some of it is on the bottom. So you go either in typically vertical or horizontal rows, although I think you could do a darning stitch on the diagonal as well. It'd be really kind of mind blowing, I think, but it can be done because I've did it on the back of a piece I did for a class project a few years ago. But you have to do the whole run. So you do a lot of turning in the margins, you do a lot of pin stitches in the margins to start and stop. But then if you have like a hot pink, something like I'm bright pink like I'm wearing, if it's on top of the canvas, it looks like a bright color. If it's underneath the canvas, it looks like a paler color like Megan's wearing. So so it's the in out, and then you can make all sorts of different patterns. These in here are mainly like graphic designs. Like I was glancing through to see if there were like dog bones or martini glasses or anything like that. But they're really more just really pretty, like kind of wallpaper-ish looking designs.
Yeah.
Really, really pretty. So this book, now that I've gone ad nauseum on about that, but it was a really nice, exciting donation, especially
No
because I hadn't
kidding.
seen it before. And sorry, my phone keeps going to sleep because I'm talking too long. We'll go to entry number 103, 103.
Ooh, 103. You are Elena Katsulos. I think that's how I say
Hey,
that because she's a customer of ours too.
yeah, and is it Elena or is it Elena?
For some reason, I thought it was Elena, but I could be wrong.
Shame on me for not knowing because I have talked to her on the phone before, although it's been a while. We trade a lot of Instagram messages instead. Um, so next time one of us talks to her, clue me in if we're saying it right.
Okay.
Okay. So the next number, I'll tell you the number now, is number 83. And Lauren Block contributed a couple of things. So we're going to break them up into like two prizes. So first of all, she has included, we were talking about Rachel Berry inserts. I think this is 6x3. This might be eyeglass case. It might be 3.5x7. I don't have a ruler in front of me. But they are her personalized plaid inserts. So she includes a chart with these. So
Cute.
you can put 3 initials down this stripe. And her example is Lauren Block Designs, of course. And this, I mean, you could do it as an eyeglass case for sure. You could do it as a 3x6 insert. Either one will work. She's also included with it, which does she tell me what number this is? I don't know what number it is, but that is the needle minder of the Princess Castle, shall we say, in pinks and purples.
Cute.
And she also has greeting cards, and I don't know if she sells these or if she just gifts these. She might just gift these. So this is one of Lauren's canvases. It says needlepoint, changing the world one stitch at a time. But this is not the canvas itself. It's a little greeting card. So you could send this to one of your stitching friends. So this is like a 3-part gift.
Sweet.
And I gave you the number and now I can't remember what it was.
83 goes
Okay.
to Jessica Driscoll.
Okay. Yay, Jessica. I think she's Novels and Needlepoint on Instagram, but I shouldn't say these things that I think off the cuff because sometimes I get them wrong.
I don't have that information in front of me. Sorry.
That's okay.
This
She's
is
a
fun, I have to say, though, because 4 years ago, I don't think we knew anybody. And so now we know more of these people. So that's kind
I
of fun.
know it is fun. So excuse me while I bag this up. I just want to keep it organized so that we're good to go. Okay. Next up is number. My phone decided to be weird. Did it go away? Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Hold on. I think I just clicked something wrong. What else is new? Okay, well, we may have to start a random number generator all over again. There was one of those pop-up ads that I tried to make go away, and I think I made all the numbers go away.
Uh-oh.
So
That's
we'll
all
do
right.
this on the fly. We're good. 2 to
You know,
104, correct?
you could just say a number. You don't have the form in front of you.
Well, that's true. But
Yes, numbers
okay,
2 through 102 is our, excuse me, 104.
104 because we had 102 people. Yes. Okay.
Yes.
So, my gosh, Megan, so sorry.
Right. I'm over here trying to make a couple notes for you too on the spreadsheet. So no problem.
Okay.
I think what prize we're gonna do next is the second prize, Lauren Block was generous to send two. And so I think what you're going to show next is the second prize from Lauren Block. And
Okay. Yes, and I'm going to find another random number generator that won't have all these pop-up ads. So hold on. Okay, so random number generator back in business, number 60. And yes, we do have something else from Lauren Block.
So do you see how I'm like doing funny with my head? I have progressives now. I'm
Oh,
trying
you're
to.
getting old like me. I love it.
Mm-hmm. They're cool, except I'm like, I just got to figure them out. I'm sure that there's a lot of you out there who have done that. So
It's
here
an
I am,
adjustment. It's an
number
adjustment.
60,
Number 60. So
not
also
age
from
60 yet, just number 60.
neither one of us have gotten there yet, but that's in our future. Okay. This is also from Lauren
Oh,
Block.
I
This
love that. We have
13
needle
mesh.
minders of that in the store. It's so cute.
Well, funny you should mention that. She also included the matching needle minders. So again, if anyone's watching, the best place to watch us these days is on Spotify, because then you can see and listen at the same time without on the go. But if you're just listening to us, it kind of has a background stripe with a lovely Christmas tree on it. I think it's a 4-inch round, 13 mesh, and a matching needle minder, and also the greeting card that we talked about earlier. So
So
another
cute.
3-piece gift from
So if
Lauren.
you could be a super, super efficient person, you could just save that for a needlepoint friend for whatever their birthday or Valentine's Day, because it's a gift and a gift card all in one.
Ready to go. I love it. Good thought. Okay, who is entry number 60?
Oh, Laura Barham, 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 Barham.
Very nice. Okay, so that'll go off to Laura. In our little bin I go. Okay, next up is number 74. And I have a lovely little package here from our friend Ellen at Mary L Designs. And Ellen was on the podcast with me this year. She makes the most beautiful handmade needlepoint accessories.
Yes.
And
I had her in the store and I was like talking to her about some things. She hardly even uses glue. Like everything they like, I don't know, sew together everything. It's amazing. It's
and she
absolutely.
sent us like a whole little collection of things. They're all tucked into this darling little box. So first of all is one of her Ort catchers.
Oh,
Um,
that's cute.
and she uses
The
all
pop out.
Liberty. Yep, she uses all Liberty of London fabrics. And then she included her beaded needle threader and many of her objects that she makes. She puts these darling little beads on them. They're so cute. And she was very conscious of um, color matching all of this stuff.
Oh,
And
how cute. So it's all like a little pairing.
yes, yes. So that's the threader. And then this is a scissor fob made with felted wool balls, excuse me, with that little looky do that pops onto your canvas. And then, of course, probably her best object ever, which, unless you know if you know, this is made out of felted wool and it has these cute little beads on the top.
And
And
she beads that and sews it all together, right? So
it's
it's like a
insane.
piece of felted wool and she collects it at the top and it catches the fabric and the bead and the fabric and the bead and puts it all together.
And it doesn't, I mean, it looks cute, but that's not its point.
No, I know. I'm just saying
I
it's amazing.
know.
She makes
But some of the other people may not know. Megan and I both are obsessed with these. So it is your needle minder. It goes on your canvas. It enables you, if you're someone who works with multiple needles, to stand your needles up in those little pockets. And then if you, when you store your needles for the night, you put them through the koozie. She calls these needle koozies. And the felted wool cleans your needles because we all have oils on our fingers and it gets rid of the oils and fantastic. So this is a pretty special gift. And I gave you a number. I think I said 74. Yes.
You did. Robin Harmon.
Yay.
Congratulations.
Okay. I'm just
I think
writing
Robin's
this
been
down.
to a podcast retreat.
Yes. Very fun. Okay. Let me just box this back up because I would hate for Mary's stuff to get separated and maybe, I end up keeping something or something like that. Okay, so that's for Robin. Okay, our next number is number 33.
Okay.
And since we're just talking about accessories, let's stick with this. Our friend Victoria Whitson donated a chatelaine, and I feel like I talk about these endlessly. I think I own like 4 or 5 of them. They are fantastic. This happens to be the custom wool in the floss colorway. Apparently I'm not selling enough of this because this is the color she donated, but it is really, really pretty. And so it is designed to be a necklace to hold all your needlepoint tools. Oops. And she includes her heart. What's this called? This has a fancy name, Megan, besides a lobster class. It has a really fancy name, this thingy.
Oh, is it like a carabiner?
Thank you.
I was
And
like, what's the fancy name? Uh-huh.
yeah, see, I can never say that word. I call it a lobster clasp because it's easier for me to say. This has a 5 times magnifier on it. It has some collapsible scissors. It has a thread cutter. It has a regular standard threader and then this little mini laying tool. So everything's at the ready, and you can add other things onto this carabiner. Did I say it right?
I don't know if I'm even saying it right, but it's a clicky
Well,
thing.
we're gonna go. You can add things out of there. So sometimes I add regular scissors. Sometimes I add one of the needle holders. So anything that has some sort of D-ring or loop on it, you can add onto here. So this is going to winner number 33.
So St. Louis is coming in strong here today. So Nancy Avioli, who is in Needlepoint Crimes by Nancy, is number 33, and so she'll win that prize.
Perfect. She just stitched something really fun she put on Instagram in the last couple days, and now I can't remember what it was, but it was like,
It was the raccoon, I think, right? It was she likes to do critters. Wasn't it a raccoon thing? Kathy Schenkel thing? Oh no, it was the church mouse. It's a church
yes,
mouse.
yes,
Yeah.
it was very
Yep.
cute. Okay, so you've given me a nice segue. We have a gift from our friend Ginny at Stitch Style. So we'll
Nice.
do that one next. To
The reason that Melissa is saying that that's a good segue is because the church mouse canvas is in fact a stitch style canvas. So
Thank
if
you
you're
for
wondering
filling in the
how she
blank.
drew that
Yeah.
conclusion, those people who aren't as knowledgeable or as every day about needlepoint designers and canvases might not know
Right.
that.
True. And I'm just yeah,
That's
in
all
my
right.
own brain trying to do too many things. Uh, Entry number 42 will receive this Christmas train. And
Oh, cute.
much of Ginny's line comes with a stitch guide and canvas, of course. This is a 4-inch round with a cute little Christmas train on there, the moon, the mountains in the background. I love a good stitch guide. I grabbed one of Ginny's things as my treat yourself on Christmas Eve. I took it to the cottage with me. It was actually a little bit bigger than this. And I stitched it in like 2 days
What was
because
it? Which one was it?
I'm in love with it. I wish it was sitting right here. It's in my office. It's from her Winter Wonderland series, but I'm going to do it as a standalone piece. It is a dog holding an envelope with a little heart on it, and he's by a
Oh,
mailbox.
cute.
And I stitched him to look just like our old dog who's no longer with us. And it's darling, absolutely darling. But having this detailed stitch guide, boom, you're done. I mean, it's just, you don't have to think about anything. You usually learn a new stitch. They're fantastic. So,
Yeah, it's awesome. I have a piece I've been working on all weekend, and I think I've pulled out 2 areas of it at least 2 or 3 times. So it would have been nice if someone else had already auditioned all.
well, and that's the beauty of a stitch guide. And I think
Yeah.
sometimes newer stitchers are like, wait, why is that stitch guide so expensive?
Yeah,
It
it's
only
very.
has 8 stitches in it. Well, it might only have 8 stitches in it, but it might have had 64 that were tried.
That's exactly right. That's exactly right. So Audrey Myers is number 42, and she is going to
Audrey.
have the fun of using that stitch guide piece.
Perfect. Okay. Next up, we have 2 items from our friend Christy at Initial K. I had the pleasure of seeing her this summer. She came to visit my store because her best friend from college lives in the Detroit area.
Oh,
So she
cool.
called me up and she's like, hey, I'm going to be in Detroit. You want to do something? And I'm like, sure. So we had a really fun little pop up with her. And apparently she comes to see her friend every year or two. And she went to, wait for it, Mackinac for the very first time.
This year she did?
Yes.
Oh, I can't wait to talk to her about that.
Yeah. So it's really fun. And we have 2 canvases from her. So we're going to start with the gingham needlepoint stash canvas. We'll go to winner number 64.
Oh, I want to see the canvas.
We have sold this a lot because we this summer carry these really cool rattan tote bags, and they kind of stand up all on their own. And so we were stitching this needlepoint stash to put on it. So
Oh,
it's
so cute.
blue and white gingham. So it can, be a label for anything that you want it to be a label for. So this is going to go to winner number 64. It's on 13 mesh, and this is the blue gingham needlepoint stash.
And I'm embarrassed to say once again, this is another local needlepoint customer, a local shop customer of mine. 64 is Cheryl Walsh.
Nice. Okay. Yay, Cheryl. Okay, I'm going to put that over here. We're going to do one more stash canvas. This one is in pink and red, so perfect for the upcoming Valentine or Galentine season. It will go to winner number 90, entry number 92.
I want to see did you show the canvas yet?
No, it is
so
pink.
Cute. It's stripes.
So sweet. So, and again, if pinks aren't your colors, you can do any sort. I'm a pink girl. Look at me. Obviously, Megan is too. But always remember, it's very easy to change colors.
I'm pretty sure that this person is also a pink person. Number 92 is Chris Cranford.
Oh, she will love that. Yay. Okay. Chris Cranford. So we're both making notes because Megan and I have both been known to, maybe lose a detail or two. So we're doing a little insurance over here. So speaking of pink and people that love pink, the next prize, hopefully is someone who it doesn't matter whether they love pink. Our friend Heidi at NDLPT Designs is known for her pink. However, this is a champagne bottle in holiday colors, greens and reds.
Do you love champagne?
Yeah, really, really fun. But Heidi's a big pink girl, so that's the tie into that. So who is number 36?
36 is Amy Williams.
Okay, Amy Williams. Yay! So hopefully she has something to celebrate at the holiday season. And I think I have one more gift here. Hold on, I do. This will be the last prize. I think I've done everything except for this one. It will go to number 87. Okay. And this is sorry, I'm stretching. Donated by our friend Elizabeth Crane Swartz. And Elizabeth was at my shop in January for a little retreat we had, and she was at your shop for the Pointing It Out retreat in October. Were we October this year? I think we were.
So
fall. Let's go with the fall.
That's right.
And it's a two-part gift. This is her Galentine clutch. So it is clutch size. We finished them as like little pouches. And so it's all of her dot she's known for. And then she sneaks in one little heart. And I believe this was originally an exclusive to the Thread Atelier, who you have met, Vaughn, correct?
Yep. Yes.
Been to her shop?
Yes.
Yeah. So this was her exclusive for like 6 months. And it is available to all shops now. And absolutely darling. So, and then she's also included her 2025 desk calendar.
ECS, where's mine? She didn't send me one. Darn it. I guess I'm gonna have to buy it.
Well, I think that if you just placed an order with her, she'd send you one.
Okay.
So maybe she's been sending them, and your receivers have been like, oh, Megan won't want this. Take this home.
Oh, because I actually have her last year calendar on my little flip, and it's still sitting on December.
Well, there you go.
Yes. Okay.
I may be able to help you out with that too. So,
okay.
this is going to go to entry number 87.
Number 87. Darn it! If you don't want it, send it my way. No, I'm just kidding, because it sounds like Melissa might have an extra. Alyssa Hertzig, and I think Alyssa will love that.
I think so too. Alyssa also, we have both met over the years, and I believe she also works at her local needlepoint shop.
She does. It's at Rita's, right?
Yes. Thank you. I was like, trying to remember which shop it was. So I think that we did it all. So that's really fun. Yay.
We did it. Fun. Those were good gifts. And thank you to those people who donated them. That was really sweet. They
very generous.
I think the stitchers will really appreciate that.
For sure. And some people may be wondering, well, what about the 2025 podcast challenge? So that's where our little announcement's going to come into play. Megan and I, if you are not aware, for very different reasons, but ironically, all at the same time, are both moving our shops. And we're both very stressed. We've had conversations lately. Maybe this is sharing too much information where I woke up at 2. What time did you get up? Because our minds are just racing with all the details. And we both have, ironically, again, the same set deadline. We both have to be out of our shops by the end of March. We both bought buildings. Buildings are fabulous, but they sometimes come with their set of problems. It's just a lot. So,
And in March, we also have market, and I have my kids' spring break, and life, a lot of life.
yes. So we came to the difficult decision that, but it's really lifted a weight off of both of our shoulders that we're going to put the podcast on a little bit of a hiatus. We will move our stores. We have to be out by March 31st. So sometime in April, we'll both be fairly settled, but we also know how long it takes to get settled when you move anywhere. Hopefully a shop's easier to move than a house. I don't know.
I've done it once, but my operation was a little smaller then. And so it's not the worst thing that's ever happened in life, but it's just it takes a lot of planning and yeah. So
yeah. So we will be on a short hiatus, but keep your eyes open. Make sure to subscribe to the Pointing It Out podcast, STL Needlepoint, Wool and the Floss on Instagram. You could also probably hop onto both of our email lists from our websites, and that will keep you informed when we are back at it. But no matter what, we'll be back at it the end of April for a retreat in Detroit, which
that's exactly right.
Yeah,
that's
that retreat is full. In case anyone is wondering, we book that about 6 months ahead of time. So we just both need to put a few things on pause in our worlds and come back to them when we can take a deep breath.
Exactly right. So, and there's also a lot of fodder out there, a lot of education out there, a lot of the things in the needlepoint world don't change too much. There are still a lot of the same designers and a lot of the people that we have interviewed over the past 4 years. And so maybe it's just a chance to go back and do a little video roulette and pick something on YouTube that maybe you haven't heard about before or haven't seen before. So,
right.
So yeah, but yes, so at least till April.
And if you're a newer listener, a lot of our episodes are on Spotify. I'll say it right this time. But we have some older episodes that weren't migrated over. So to Megan's point, check out YouTube if you have time, if you need to feel like you're with a stitching friend while you're stitching one night or one morning or middle of the night when you can't sleep because you're moving to a new building. I don't know. And yeah, there's lots to go back and watch because we've met with and talked to just so many amazing people in the needlepoint world. So,
yep, indeed.
So,
all
I think
right.
that's it. Do we have anything else?
I don't think I have anything else.
Okay. Well, we will get these prizes shipped out to the lucky winners sometime in the next month or so. Like I said, we're going to try to combine shipping where we can. Megan and I may talk about who's local to her. Maybe I'm sending a few things her way for hand delivery. I don't know. We'll figure that out. But thank you for spending time with us. And we hope to be back at it in April.
Okay. Thanks. Bye. I'll talk to you soon.
Bye. For more information, please visit us on Instagram at Pointing It Out Podcast or subscribe to our YouTube channel at Pointing It Out Podcast.
Shop online at Needlepoint Clubhouse by visiting stlneedlepoint.com and follow us on Instagram at stlneedlepoint.
And visit the Wool and the Floss online shop at woolfloss.com and follow at Wool and the Floss on Instagram.